board until the issues are addressed. In the letter, the group states that the Black population in Windsor, Essex has experienced anti-Black racism, bias, and mistreatment while being educated through the Greater Essex County District School Board for generations. Some of these instances outlined in the letter include criminalizing Black students by having police stationed in schools, Black teachers feeling afraid to speak out about the inequities of being denied jobs and promotions. I spoke with the group's acting chair about the letter. She says this comes after several meetings with the board administration where the group was trying to push for more diverse curriculum, inclusive hiring practices, and anti-racism training.
The people who are in the system right now are not going to work to change the system. We feel like they're going to try and do as little as they can to try and appease us, but then still maintain their comfort level with everything. It's not about their comfort level. It's about the changes that need to be done, not just for Black students, but for other students of color.
She says members left the meetings feeling unheard and frustrated. In one meeting where Black staff talked about their experiences of feeling unsafe and threatened at school, McCurdy says a member of the board's administration called the stories heartwarming.
But heartwarming is not exactly going to get us the changes that we need, you know? It's not heartwarming when our children are streamed into lower achieving courses. You know, it's not heartwarming when our kids are told that, oh, they're never going to go to college anyways, or that they're going to end up criminals. I mean, you know, none of that is heartwarming. So I think it's kind of that makes us feel like, dang, they're just not getting it.
Jen, what does the board have to say about this?
Well, in an email yesterday, the board's Director of Education, Aaron Kelly, wrote in part, "We believe that every student and all staff have the right to learn and work in an environment free of bias, hate, racism, and discrimination. The letter we received from the Black Council of Windsor, Essex contains situations we were aware of and alerted us to new ones." Kelly says they have already investigated the cases they knew about, and where they concluded there was wrongdoing, they took corrective action. As for the new allegations, she says the board plans to hire a third-party investigator to look into them.
Now, Jen, what's expected to come of the letter that's been sent to the province?
Well, Chris, we saw something similar happen in the Peel District School Board in 2019. In that case, Education Minister Stephen Lecce launched a review of the board after incidents of anti-Black racism surfaced. Last year, that review led to more than 24 directives for the board to follow, such as regular equity reports, a diversity audit, and tracking race-based data on suspensions. When I reached out to the minister's office, it did not say whether it would move forward with an audit in this case, but McCurdy told me they followed up with her yesterday, asking her to schedule an appointment with the Assistant Deputy Minister, Education Equity Secretariat. Chris.
Thanks, Jen. CBC's Jennifer Lagrassa live tonight. A cast member on Canada's Drag Race has some advice for a local ice cream shop. Last week, we told you about a shop that refused to print the picture of a drag queen on a birthday cake. That drag queen, Jimbo. Jacob Barker spoke with her today, and she says this incident is an opportunity for understanding.
I'm just so proud of the community. I'm so proud of everyone that stepped up to say, like, hey, you're off the mark here with your thoughts and you got to change your narrative.
Jimbo. James Insel, who goes by the stage name Jimbo and was a cast member of Canada's Drag Race, is speaking directly to the Windsor community, saying the incident is sparking an important conversation during Pride Month.
This is a great opportunity for this T-Bear person to get their head out of their cake and into what's happening in the world.
It was Jimbo's picture T-Bear's Creamery refused to print on their cake for a local woman hoping to surprise her husband on his birthday. Since the incident, the ice cream shop has posted an apology to its webpage, saying it regrets anything that was offensive or miscommunicated and that it values every person regardless of background or life choice. It also said it didn't permit the use of sensual photos on their cakes.
He's referring to the act of someone dressing in something different than a social norm would be. So he's sensualized a man dressing as a woman, where that's certainly an aspect of drag, but it's also a big part of, drag is a part of performance and self-expression and identity and all of those things.
Following the incident, Trans Wellness Ontario offered to meet with the shop to discuss the importance of language and common myths about the LGBTQ+ community.
It is important that you are making your practices a safe and inclusive place for all people, because not everybody is cisgender, not everyone is heterosexual, not everybody is white or able-bodied. And it's important that you are creating a space to accommodate and to celebrate and love and support every aspect of our Windsor community.
In the end, the couple got more than just a photo on a cake.
Yeah, I reached out to them and I, gave them some hellos and some love. And I just said, I'm sorry that this happened to you when you were looking for a birthday cake. And I'm going to make them a cameo message when the next time I'm in drag. I'm going to make them a special message to celebrate his birthday.
T-Bears did not respond to CBC's request for comment today. Jacob Barker, CBC News, Windsor.
Today, the National Advisory Committee on Immunization announced a new recommendation regarding COVID-19 vaccinations. It said earlier that provinces should avoid giving AstraZeneca as the first vaccine dose. Now, the group of independent experts is advising people who got AstraZeneca as their first shot not to get it as their second, recommending that they follow up with a Pfizer or Moderna shot.
It's really the immunogenicity, that immune response after that mixed dose schedule that's resulted in NACI updating this recommendation because all of the accumulated study essentially suggests that that immune response is a better response.
As of June 5th, 1.7 million people in this country had received at least one dose of AstraZeneca. And Windsor, Essex has another single-digit day of COVID-19 cases, 7 new cases today, but the overall pandemic case count, it only rose by 2 because the health unit had to clean up some data. Now, as for vaccinations, our rate beyond the province's phase 3 markers. It requires between 70 and 80% of adults with a single dose. We're at 73% here. As for second doses, that was required to be at 25%, this region at 27%. The province today announced that it is moving up appointments for second doses. By June 28th, all adults will be eligible for their second shot. Anyone who got Pfizer or Moderna between April 19th and May 9th should be able to book their next dose starting Monday. And the province says guidance for what fully vaccinated people can do, that's coming shortly. The Windsor Essex Health Unit says they're looking into their online booking system to see how quickly they can follow the provincial direction, adding they will inform the community when the eligibility move happens here. Dr. Wajid Ahmed said that he would be comfortable easing the rules based on our current numbers, those regulations and restrictions, but that's up to the province. Doug Ford's government makes the call, and Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health advised against that this afternoon.
We don't want to even give the fourth wave a chance to get a foothold. And I know the Premier definitely doesn't want that. The Minister Elliott, does not want that. No one really wants that. So I will say let's stay the course. We haven't been in step 1 for a full week yet. We're only talking about another 14 days off. Let's see how we do. We got to do really a lot better. It's not that we're not doing well. We're doing great. We're on course. But we're going to have to move the yardsticks even further to get to step 2.
Now, the 3-week wait between steps is designed to break transmission of the virus, important with those more transmissible variants spreading in Ontario. They've shown up on cases at Walpole Island First Nation this week.
The increase that we are experiencing concerns our children, and we believe it's directly related to exposure to the variants of concern. It is our understanding that it is closely linked, our children or kids in general are more susceptible to that infection because of its strain. So it's a little concerning to us. We have to take some measures within our daycare and our school, but we're taking the necessary precautionary measures and to make sure that people are isolated and contact tracing is done and to take the typical precautions.
I know when people hear that kids are affected by this virus, it hits close to home when we think about what they've been through already. How many kids are dealing with this right now? How are they doing?
In the neighborhood of 7 kids, as I understand it from latest figures, and they're doing well. There's obviously some concern within those particular families there, but they're all in good hands.
You say variants of concern. Are you able to say which specific strain this might be? I know there's been a lot of emphasis placed on that Delta variant recently because of the spread that's happened throughout Ontario.
We haven't been able to identify it specifically, but in discussions with my director of health, we believe, and I have to underline the word believe, that it can be attributed to the Delta strain.
And people who swim at 80 knots are not happy the city has plans to close the pool Monday. The motion comes before council. Protesters gathered in front of City Hall and 80 Knox today. They don't want the pool closed and moved to the Lancer Center, about 1.5 kilometers away. Many who swim at 80 Knox say they've been hurt and betrayed by this potential change.
What I say is they haven't done their research to find out what the community wants. Does the community want a pickleball court? Does the community want a gym? Will it be used? And when I say community, I mean grassroots community.
$40 million+ investment in this facility puts the question of whether or not 80 Knox will exist to bed. It will exist well beyond our lifetimes if we make that kind of an investment.
This can easily be done, keeping it here, having the money that they're seeking from the government go in here as a green project and keeping the pool here and saving it for the seniors and families who've been using it for the past 50 years.
I just think that this is a wonderful place for seniors. It's easy to find. You don't have to look around and go, which building is it? You can park and just walk in. You don't have to worry about stairs and all this and that. So that's why I'm here and supporting this.
Lozon Parkway, one of CAA's 5 worst roads in southwestern Ontario, now under construction. It will be for the next 16 months. Now, the city invested $1.8 million to rebuild the road. Phase 1 was supposed to start 2024, but was fast-tracked as funding became available. Tecumseh Road to Hawthorne Drive will be worked on until early next year. Some parts will be widened, 7 lanes will be reconstructed, drainage and sidewalks will be improved. All businesses will stay open, but lanes will be reduced in both directions. And some clarification on a story that we brought you yesterday. We told you a decision to rename General Amherst High School in Amherstburg has been deferred. In fact, the Windsor-Essex School Board is building a new school, which will replace both General Amherst and Western. The effort currently underway is to come up with a name for that new school. Summer festival season is coming. Many events are once again canceled or altered due to the pandemic, but as Dale Molnar reports, there's several that are still going ahead.
Carousel of the Nations starts tomorrow. 24 villages are participating, but the cultural entertainment and events are being offered online again.
Whether it's dancing, whether it's a cooking lesson, whether it's some form of entertainment. So we also have a video we're putting together where we're packaging some carousel experiences from over the years. What we're asking everyone to do is connect through social media, share your carousel experience. So if you go to the Greek village and you pick up some honey balls, you bring them home and you're sitting there enjoying them, watching carousel online, take a picture, share that experience with us.
When it comes to food, 16 of the villages will have food, some will have patios, and some will just offer takeout food. Directions are on the carouselofthenations.com website. The Canada Day Parade and Summerfest in Windsor is once again not going ahead as usual. Instead, people are being asked to decorate their houses for a picture contest. Cupcakes will be handed out at various stores on Canada Day on Erie Street, downtown Windsor, and Wyandotte Town Centre. Also tomorrow, 18 Days of Summerfest starts with online activities and entertainment on the Parade Corporation and Summerfest Facebook pages.
On Canada Day, we will have specialty entertainment featuring the Fire Guy, Becks in Motion, Mighty Mike, and Bella Magic.
The other events being planned for this year include the Kingsville Folk Festival, which will be part of Open Streets Kingsville on Saturdays starting this weekend. Hogs for Hospice from July 30th to August 1st. The Windsor-Essex Pride Fest from August 2nd to the 8th. Art by the River in Amherstburg on August 28th and 29th. The Harrow Fair, September 3rd to 6th. Windsor Comic-Con, September 18 to 19, and the Amherstburg Uncommon Festival, September 24th to the 26th. The Essex Fun Fest, the Comber Fair, and the Bell River Sunsplash have all been canceled. The Virtual Blues Fest, Urban Wine Fest, Walkerville BIA Art Walk, Whiskeytown Festival, Olette Car Cruise, Tour de Via Italia, the Ruthven Apple Festival, and the Festival of Hawks are all yet to be determined. The annual Ford Fireworks will take place on June 28th, but once again, not on the river. It will take place at the Lake St. Clair Metro Park in Harrison Township, Michigan. The park will be closed to spectators, but it will be televised. Dale Molnar, CBC News, Windsor.
Take a live look outside there where temperatures are a little higher, but still not too bad considering what we've experienced before, what I'm sure will come later in this summer. Colette Kennedy comes up next with a look at the forecast.
Today.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has nominated a new justice for the Supreme Court of Canada. Ontario Court of Appeal Justice Mohamed Jamal has been named to replace retiring Supreme Court Justice Rosalie Silberman Abella. Now, as a lawyer, Jamal appeared in 35 appeals before the Supreme Court on a wide range of legal matters. He also taught constitutional law at McGill University and administrative law at Osgoode Hall Law School. He's bilingual. His nomination still has to go through the formal approval process. Joining us now for a live look at the weather is Colette Kennedy. But before we get there, you were off for a couple days earlier and you made a new friend, Colette.
I did, or at least I thought I did. This is, and he was already named before I got to the cottage with my family. This is Chippy. And
Chippy was getting fed, as you can see, peanuts like you can't believe, and he could pack one in each cheek and then, you know, carry a third. And I decided to start, I don't have video of this part, but I started to start feeding him between my fingers. And he would take it from me between my two fingers. And then, Chris, I took it too far. I put the peanut in the center of my hand the next time he came, thinking I'd seen images on like the dodo and social media where people put, and he came up to it and he went to my index finger after he sniffed at the peanut and he just bit it. And
just a tiny nibble?
Just,
or like
he just came over after us being friends and just took a little bite. And I'm telling you, he was just teaching me a lesson. It was like, I will take it from your fingers. We don't do this. I'm not doing this. And,
I think Chippy was just saying, that's not more. This is mine. This is mine. Get it in my hand.
Or my finger looked like a peanut. There was also that possibility there. But he got fed lots. And by the way, folks at home, it didn't break the skin. It was just, it was like a little love bite. That's all it was. But I did kind of stop feeding him right around that point. All right, I'm not an expert on the chipmunks. I'd like to call myself one on the weather. So let's get to that and show you what's happening in terms of your forecast. So showers are moving in for Friday, not just showers, some embedded thunderstorms, humidity spiking further as well. We have a chance of rain Saturday. I have not quite honestly been liking the model runs. They can't make up their mind as to whether this system is going to stay to the south of us, so I want to keep watching this for you. And hey, it is looking pretty good, and that has been more consistent is the forecast for Sunday for Father's Day here. Current temperature, we're at 29 degrees and 26 is the Humidex at Chatham-Kent, but feeling steamier in Windsor. Tomorrow we'll see that Humidex spiking towards the upper 30s. We have nice conditions for this evening, but it's this to the west of us, and you can see all the lightning strikes there. So that's some of the embedded thunderstorm activity. Watch it kind of die off and then blow up again. So overnight tonight, we'll see showers and thunderstorms rumbling through. We get through that into tomorrow morning, and then still some instability, especially with some sunshine coming through. And so a few pop-ups, they'll be more isolated, but late in the day, just be aware that that's coming too. Overnight tonight, not exactly sleeping weather with temperatures 20 degrees, and the heat carrying on with the humidity as we go into the weekend. But this is one, I'm going to keep tweaking that one for you, Chris, for Saturday. It's important.
A lot to chew on in that 5-day there, Colette.
Oh, you're so good. Yeah.
Thanks.
You're so chippy.
Chippy, oh my. Up next, the United States, they've created a new national holiday. We'll tell you all about it.
app.
Muslims represent almost a quarter of the world's population, but account for just a small fraction of roles in Hollywood productions. And many of those roles, they embody negative stereotypes. As Eli Glasner reports, there's now a push to change that.
Welcome to the land where the waters try to drown us. Toronto's Ali Momin is many things: an actor, a podcaster,
a healthcare system underfunded,
even an aspiring politician. But he'll never forget how Hollywood first cast him.
Suicide bomber number 3 in the movie Traitor with Don Cheadle.
He was trained to kill.
Eager for acting credits, Momin accepted.
In hindsight, I deeply regret it. I wish I never said yes. But if I'm to be honest, we use the word systemic all the time. I was a part of a system.
As his career continued, so did the offers. Terrorists, nefarious bad guys, generic Arab speakers, even though he's a non-Arab from Iran.
It otherizes you. And even when there is a Muslim representation that isn't terrorist-like or nefarious, it's exoticized.
A recent study confirms how Hollywood overlooks and ignores the Muslim community. Of the top 100 films in the U.S. from 2017 to 2019, only 1.1% of the speaking roles were Muslim. Then there's the issue of violence.
Specifically, about 40% of Muslim characters were shown as perpetrators of violence, and more than half of Muslim characters were shown as targets of violence. We also saw that 19% of Muslim characters in our sample also died by the end of the film.
Oscar-winning actor Riz Ahmed is part of a group that commissioned this study. He sees a connection between what happened in London, Ontario, and what we see on our screens.
People don't just wake up hating Muslims. They believe a story that we have to look at ourselves and ask whether we are complicit in perpetuating.
To combat that, Ahmed's partners are launching new guides and grants to support Muslim-centered stories.
I got fired.
Like the comedy series Dirty Love. Ottawa's Mesa Huri was tired of playing terrorist wives and refugees, so she created a show with a contemporary view of Muslim life.
I just wanted to be who I am, and I want to be able to show that on screen as well. We all have a story.
Using stories to push back against the stereotypes. Eli Glasner, CBC News, Toronto.
The United States government has created a new national holiday. It marks the date that is widely accepted as the official end of slavery in the U.S. President Joe Biden signed the legislation this afternoon. Juneteenth, or June 19th, is also known as Emancipation Day. It's been recognized in most states for many years. It's been informally celebrated as the end of slavery for generations. It's believed to have started with slaves in Galveston, Texas. They got the news that the U.S. Civil War was over, and they were freed on June 19th, 1865, told 2 years after it was law. That's it for CBC Windsor News. Don't forget, for news anytime, you can go to our website at cbc.ca/Windsor. We're on social media too. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The Rick Mercer Report, it's up next. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.